This is an Audio Wool original.
It is Frightday. I'm your host, Byron. We're broadcasting live from our long drivewayed compound in the woods of Montana. Spending time... What, you don't like these big, long, exasperated sighs? You have a problem
No,
with
I was
it.
just thinking about the fact, first of all, I liked the idea of a long driveway, and then your dog went
Oh, okay.
afterwards, and that
Well,
was
he
more
likes
what I was...
walking, I think. I think you would be a fan of that.
That's fine.
Sorry. Apologies. Spending time with your significant other's friends can be stressful. Feeling out of place, under a microscope, missing inside jokes. The pressure can be painful. But not as much as being stabbed, shot, or, God forbid, heartbroken. But you can learn a lot about a partner in moments like these. We'll talk about that, meet cutes, the weather, and how hard it can be to lie sometimes as we review Drew Hancock's Companion. I'm joined tonight by Kelly.
When do you find it hard to lie?
I mean, I don't know.
Or was that just like one of those statements?
It's a plot point in the film.
Oh, but you don't really find it hard to lie.
Me, I lie well and all the time.
I need to get better at it.
I don't lie at all.
Like when my kids say, "Mom, are you worried about something?"
Well, you should stop worrying so much, Kelly. Sam can't make it because he's dancing with a dinosaur, and they really seem to be hitting it off. So I don't think we should interrupt.
That one hurt.
What do you mean? Well, we'll talk about it.
That storyline, not that comment.
And all right, I have some apologies to make.
It's okay, I forgive you.
Thanks, appreciate it. But this is not.
No, it's never me.
No. First, this is a live show every week at live.frightday.com. You can follow or subscribe there to know when
Why would you apologize for that?
recording. I guess I'm just getting this part. It's just important to say before I get to the
Before
apology.
you apologize?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can chat with other listeners, like
Me?
Grump One Pumpkin with a 1 is in the chat.
Oh, hi.
The DJ Intel's there too. You can
friends.
be chatting with them, or you could ask us questions. We might see them and bring them up. Who knows? And this is a small thing. I accidentally left the assassination of RFK shirt online another week. A big oops.
Oh,
Sorry.
You said that it was going to be done, and now what if... Oh, man.
Well, I pressed one the other day, and I remembered how good it looked. So
Did I get mine?
no,
Did you press mine yet? Because I really want one.
I'll press you one. I have decided that if you're interested, you should grab it now. And as a bonus,
Oh, no.
all orders are going to include a can of Frightday Camp Punch.
Remind me, is this like energy punch, or is this just like...
What's it taste like? What's in it? What does it do? There's only one way to find out, Kelly, and that's...
Oh, God, you should see the color of this shit.
Should I keep the color off screen, or should I tease
No,
it?
I think you need to let people know that
All right.
it is radioactive.
Well, and if you want
Look at guys, hurry before RFK Jr. makes it illegal.
That's a great point. It's an active war from the son of your favorite presidential candidate.
Do you know my friend got a call tonight from the CDC?
Interesting.
With a survey, and one of the first questions was not what their thoughts were about vaccines. Not like, you know how like surveys, they can be heavily influenced by the exact way the questions are phrased.
Yeah.
How vaccine hesitant
Jesus
are
Christ.
you?
Okay, so let's not. We can't do that tonight. I can't. I don't have the mental.
I'm sorry.
room.
I don't actually either. It just felt relevant.
So you get the free can of Camp Punch when you buy one of the Assassination of RFK t-shirts. And also,
Woot woot.
if you want to see this lovely color of this beverage, it is going to be, this is a video podcast. You can do that at youtube.com/Frightday. Take a
Yeah?
peek. Yeah. Also,
Oh,
the
no.
bigger apologies that are due.
I was going to say, that was kind of like, why are you apologizing for that? That was a
Last
weird
week,
one.
I said that we'd be covering the new Mickey Keating,
Oh, yeah, you do need to apologize
Joe
for this.
Swanberg film. We're clearly not doing that. I also believe that in that episode, I called the film Intruder and not the actual title, which is Invader. So, kind of flubbing and fibbing left and right. Which brings me to the most important admission. I think I've never done this on a podcast. This is a very vulnerable moment, and I'm super ashamed to admit it or even bring this up at all.
Hold on, can I start filming this on my phone too?
Just a sec. We got an email, Kelly. It's kind of weird.
What?
This is from at proton.me. Huh. That's kind of weird.
Oh no, is this another one? Oh no.
Let's see what. So this is in response to my email to Pooh. Hello, compelling audio. As we begin to break down the first message, I'd love a little more confirmation of your authenticity if you could provide it. I'd hate to invest more time and resources into research if this is simply a hoax. Any additional audio, video, or photos shared in good faith would be appreciated. If not, I'm unsure we'd be able to broadcast further on this.
Okay, hold on. Before you tell me what the response was, do you think we need to replay the original audio so that people can understand it?
Go back to the episode.
Okay, well, tell them what episode it's in.
I will figure it out.
Okay.
It'll be in the show notes.
Okay.
There will be a time.
Because this is important, you guys. Byron may pretend like this isn't important, but this is important.
It's not.
I did not know about this response, but I'm really excited now. What does it say?
And I need you, after we do this, you have to be able to compartmentalize and actually review a film on the podcast, okay?
Oh, God.
I'd appreciate it.
Okay, you might have to disconnect the Wi-Fi.
In a more civilized times, spell, it's a bit of a grammatical.
Was it in a more civilized, or was it just
in
in
a more civilized
sure there's
times? An A. Yes. If the Doge took Venice to war and lost, that Doge would be put to death. Alas, we do not. Our resources are limited. Please accept this meager audio in place of good video.
Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, in a quaint little village on the Baltic coast, there was a man. His name was Kurt, and Kurt loved two things above all else: his country and the diaphanous mysteries of luminiferous capacitation. For this reason, the king of his country appointed Kurt to develop weapons that could strike their enemy across the sea. They already had a wonderful weapon for this purpose, but alas, it required a heady cocktail of liquid oxygen and alcohol, very resource-intensive. Thus, Kurt had been set to the glorious purpose of developing a method of propulsion that might loose their fretful missiles with little more than lanthanum plates gapped by an exotic dielectric sourced from the fairy realm of Neuschwabenland.
Okay, so we're about halfway through, Kelly. I mean, the emails are from Pooh, of course. I think I falsely called this person Alan because the name of the first audio that we received from this person was called Allentown. And this is
Pooh.
This is just called Alan, is the name of the file here. Alan 2, of course, but anything striking you so far? I mean, I know we're gonna have to break this.
I mean, he's talking about, I assume, Hitler.
Yeah, I mean,
And he's talking about Kurt. I mean, I'm sure it ended up being one of our striking American heroes that we brought over after Paperclip.
Yeah, of course, one of those real Americans. That
I do like the idea of fairy realm.
Okay, so let's continue listening, and of course, I mean, this is we decided that we were going to put the pause on looking into this until we received proof that there was more to this story that we were sent anonymously on a proton.me untraceable email. So now I guess we actually have to...
Kurt Deibner
All right.
was Nuclear Museum, German nuclear physicist, administrative director of the secret Nazi German nuclear weapons program. So this sounds, but then there's, yep, nope, this is the guy.
Well, it's interesting though. I mean, obviously the text in the email references recent events. The audio has yet to, right? I mean, the last Allentown audio that we received, they were discussing
Yes.
basically whatever energy. Were they talking about energy, like levitation technology stolen from extraterrestrials or something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I mean, this is a different subject, of course, but maybe they're related. Who knows?
Here's a picture of this dude. You want to see a picture of him?
No, well,
That's Kurt.
we'll investigate more, but let's listen to the rest of this.
I won't bore you with the trial data.
Please
I can
do.
barely get through it myself. And Fractal font is hell on the eyes. Anyway, he succeeded, or succeeded after a fashion, as his team was able to levitate a molybdenum steel pipe, literally jerry-rigged with a Howlback-style array, some 3 meters in the air.
Okay, here we are.
Though, before he could try lashing that 12 Yocto-Farad spaghetti mess to a Hyde Park-bound warhead, Operation Hydra rolled through and leveled that quaint little village.
What's up? We can't do this right now. We've got a whole show to
Wasn't Operation Hydra from Dick Tracy?
Dick Tracy was... There's a lot of Cold War references in Dick Tracy, right?
I think it was just straight up
I
World War II, wasn't
it? Listen, I was too young to care when it came out and never followed up afterwards. But, yeah, we've got just a few more seconds, Kelly.
Nope, I was wrong. It was Marvel.
I was going to say, I mean,
Carry
we know
on.
Hydra is the Captain America enemy.
No, it also was an attack by RAF Bomber Command on a German scientific research center at Peenemünde, August of 1943.
After that, on the recommendation of his good friend, Hans Kammler, Kurt moved his research to an even quainter little village in southern Poland. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Okay. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, what's up? What's going on? What are you feeling?
Oh.
You can't react largely now, just at the end of that. What's going on?
Okay, so, I don't know who this is. I'm feeling a little paranoid. It's been a rough day. I feel like I'm definitely in a different...
You think Blackmail 1953 is
someone
you know?
So...
But, come on. You can't just sit
I was
here
in a play once upon a time that took place in a small village in Poland.
Okay, so we're not going to do this right now. That's, we have a phone number.
No, but seriously?
1-833-FRIGHT-9. 1-833-374-4489. Give us a call. What?
It just
It's been
freaks
a
me
while
out.
since we've heard from the Piano Man.
That's not the Piano Man.
I know, I'm just saying in general.
Okay,
I would love
please
to
stop
hear from
trying to elicit more terrifying things from people.
I think this is a lot of fun. I think receiving proton mail untraceable email addresses.
Big fan
pointed
of a
towards
proton
us.
mail,
I think that's
but-
fun. Yeah, I think it's nice. Who was
I'm gonna have nightmares.
funny? And both of these were made up to me, not contact at Frightday.com. Just me.
I really
directly.
appreciate that at least.
Why is that? Okay. Either way.
Really, like can't we just spend like the next hour?
Unfortunately, we cannot because these DVD copies of... I didn't pick one. What's another Michelle Trachtenberg film?
Oh God, will you stop it?
What? Are you not over it yet? I mean, you
No.
shouldn't be. Clearly,
It's really
she
fucking sad.
just recently passed away. Ooh, let's do a Gene Hackman.
God,
Have you been
fucking
following
damn it.
that?
Super weird.
I mean, we don't really know what happened in there.
Well,
but
it seems like carbon monoxide.
no, ruled out.
Really?
Dead for 9 days. Door open. Front door open. Pills scattered on the ground.
Okay, but I thought the idea was that the dog might have opened the front door after getting desperate, and like they had died from carbon monoxide first.
Nope, not carbon monoxide. That did not happen. It didn't happen. But these DVD copies of Superman the movie. Nope, let's do Mississippi. Nope, that's what's a Gene Hackman movie that isn't...
Quick and the Dead, Quick and the Dead, Quick and the Dead, Quick and the Dead.
Put themselves away. It's time for Staff Picks.
They say so much, but they never tell you if it's any good.
Werewolf movie with E.T.'s mom in it?
The Howling, horror, straight ahead.
Ooh, AB's dropping theories in the chat, but save them. We'll talk about it another day. Or we'll do it at discord.frightday.com.
Shit, I want to read AB's. I won't get to see what AB said.
Nah, well, AB will write it in Discord now. Make a sub channel? Okay, this is going really well. Kelly, you're blocking my face with your big hair. I need you to move out the way.
I'm trying to read AB.
Yeah, we're not doing that right now. Stop, please, Kelly.
I'm just trying to
I'm
read
asking super
I
nice.
know, but I'm not going to be able to read it later.
Can you believe it's been almost 6 years since this film came out?
Well,
It's from the Radio Silence folks. We covered it in episode 219, as well as Loftus Hall, which I don't remember what that is. Do you recall?
Jamie Loftus?
Nope. It's something else we did on the show, maybe. It's been a while. As well as this Tyler Gillette and Matt Bettinelli open film, Ready or Not. Whoops.
That was not me.
Uh-oh. I'm blowing up all over the place. Mute everything and push this button and this one as well. Where's Dennis when you need him?
We're going to start the count. Good luck.
I can't believe that in half an hour, I will be a part of the Ladomus Gaming Dynasty
I forgot
Empire.
about the games.
for Dominion.
I honestly can't wait to be a part of your family.
There's just one more thing. And then you are officially part of the family.
This August.
So, at midnight, you have to play a game.
Why
It's just something we do when someone new joins the family.
a game? What game? Hide
Did the
and
second one
seek?
come
Are we really gonna play
Excuse
that?
me?
Did the second one come out yet?
I don't know if there's why would there be a second? There's a second one?
Well, the rules are simple. You can hide anywhere. We then try to find you.
So there's no way for me to win, right?
I mean, stay hidden till dawn.
No, thank you.
Good luck.
What a long night.
What the hell is this? How old is this thing?
I shouldn't chew ice in the mic.
I know you're in here.
All right, y'all get the point. We're talking about...
It's a great movie, and there is a sequel, and
Is it
So there.
actually going to happen?
Yeah.
Grace couldn't be happier after she marries the man of her dreams. This guy's Adrian Brody, of course.
not to be confused.
With?
I think it's
Adrian.
actually Adam Brody, not
Thank
to be
you.
confused
See,
with
I
Adrian.
got it confused.
You did.
That was my confusion. I've got Brody on the brain after that
gave it-
Brutalist win.
It was good.
What'd you think of the singer of Yuck winning for the soundtrack of the Brutalist?
Who's the singer of Yuck?
Well, I can't remember his name, but
I mean, good for him, I
kind of
guess.
a ghoulish-looking guy.
Oh, yeah, he seemed definitely like a vampire.
Yeah, he's really good.
I am
He's
fairly
kind of a cool,
certain
fun
he was
guy.
a vampire.
No, he's not a
I
vampire.
loved him for it even more.
Yeah, no, it was good to see him, though. He's in a band that's fairly popular called Yuck.
I don't understand
That's
popular
okay.
things.
Adam
Brody.
not Adrian.
Are Adam and Adrian related?
I don't believe so. I wouldn't think so.
Curious.
But yeah, that's the man of Grace's dreams, and they do it at her family's board game wealthy
Just to be
estate.
clear,
Yeah.
they don't have sex. Byron was...
What?
They don't do
What
it.
the fuck are you talking about?
They don't do it.
Uh-huh.
They get married.
What did I say?
You said they do it at...
Oh my god. I said they got married.
No, you said they do it.
No, I was referencing the sentence I...
I know there's a lot in between, though, so you, like, there was no...
Jesus.
Yeah, it
What
just sounded
the
like
heck
it.
kind of a stretch are you doing?
It wasn't Stretch.
There's one catch, though. She must hide from midnight until dawn, and while her new in-laws hunt her down with guns, crossbows, and other weapons, she tries to survive the night.
Oh.
Turns the tables on her not-so-lovable relatives. Interesting. Samara Weaving, just great. I feel like she announced a new movie this week. Did you hear about that?
You mean Ready or Not to?
Is that what was announced this week?
No, I don't think it was, but... There was news on
8
Ready or
hours
Not.
ago, Ready or Not 2 cast Caitlin Newton.
Yeah, but she's in it too. Samara's still in it.
Yes. No, what was it? It might have been... No, see, all of this... God, I hate Google. Can I complain for just 1 second?
Sure. Let her
Whenever
rip.
you try to search news, everything is like from the last week. It's like they don't want you to actually...
Do you know how to fix that? Can I show you something?
I will ask you to do it later. Can we focus
really
on the
easy.
show,
It's
Kelly?
really easy.
Let's not do it.
Just hit tools.
Well, I know how to do search, like additional search, advanced search things.
You just select the time frame.
Yeah, I don't want to have to...
Well, that it's advanced. That's fine.
Samara's wonderful. There's something about Borderline. I think that's the movie that I'm talking about from the writer of Cocaine Bear.
I don't even know anything about Borderline. Is it actually horror?
I think so. A new trailer for it came out. It's for Magnets. Should be good. Should be good. It's got, quote, a gripping plot. She's playing a pop star caught in the stalker's dangerous fantasy. So,
I don't know why I have such a negative response to the idea of pop star stalker horror films, but just that premise, even that part of, what was that horror movie from last year? The Josh Hartnett one. The part that had the pop star in it.
Trap. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh. And it wasn't even
you
just
didn't
because...
see Smile, too, which was also a pop star.
Was that pop star?
Yeah, yeah. Huh.
People thought it was good, though. I just didn't see it.
Yeah, the Smile series is fun. I love Ready or Not. Clearly, I think you and I, it was in our top films of the year. Solid pace, violent without being over the top.
Well, Samara Weaving's really great.
Yeah, and it's kind of a date movie in a weird way, right? Like, even though, it's not necessarily a love story, but...
No, Sam and I went and saw it on a date, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it just feels fun. It's a good one. Kind of like another film that I might bring up in a little bit. I saw Scream Unseen this week.
Oh, wait, it was Scream Unseen? It wasn't Scream?
Oh, I guess it was on the edge. It was Novocaine.
Oh, it was? Okay, so
Yeah.
ironically, Sam brought that up and wants to see it, and I was surprised.
You two should go. It is it's surprisingly sweet. I went to it with a guy friend I hadn't seen in a long time, and I was like, if this is just a full-blown rom-com, we're sharing a milkshake here in a few minutes.
I do love that.
That's how this is going to happen.
Do love that.
And milkshakes are fun, too, so.
I've never gotten a milkshake at a movie.
I haven't either. It seems excessive, actually,
Yeah, I agree.
Indulgent, yeah.
They're very expensive.
Ready or Not is my staff pick this week. Kelly, how about you? What do you got?
I have
see, and I should have just read the chat. They said it right there.
What did they say?
Borderline
Oh,
film.
there you go.
Could have avoided all of this.
Could have. So they also probably could have told me that Ruins was a movie they didn't like very much, but I liked it. It's another film a little bit like Tonight where we're following some couples on a little getaway. Though this one takes place a little further away in the way of a getaway. It takes place
In 2008.
in Mexico.
So, what do you guys think? Ancient Mayan temple off the beaten path?
I want to go.
I'm in.
1,000 years ago.
Oh, they need it.
This feels weird, Jeff.
We need that.
Why won't they come near us?
This was a place of sacrifice.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, thinking about this now, maybe not.
I love it. It takes on totally new
still
connotations.
is.
That's why I brought it up.
Did you see that? Something's on me.
Oh no, the
They won't let
roots.
us leave.
Why are they doing this?
Got something to do with the ruins.
Based on the terrifying bestseller.
Get off me! It's inside me.
Who wrote?
I want to cut it.
The Ruins.
I'm not okay. You keep saying I'm okay. I'm not okay. Why would you look at me?
Ugh. Okay, so we got worms in the face there, huh? Whoops, wrong button.
Wrong button.
I swear I
You were
pushed the
asking
right
who
button.
the writer was. It was Scott B. Smith, who wrote A Simple Plan, which is a really cool movie with Billy Bob Thornton from the
Simple
90s.
Plan, huh.
Did you ever see that? It might have been a Coen Brothers. I feel like it was a Coen Brothers. No, it was a Raimi, but it felt like a Coen Brothers.
Yes, yeah.
Anyhow, this is a really fun movie. I'm not going to lie. The visual effects at points leave something to be desired. It was, after all, almost we're pushing 20 years ago.
Well, and this was, I don't know if this was part of that era, but it felt like a Redbox rental. Like,
oh, I think it was. I totally think it was that
2008.
era.
I'm trying to decide if that actually was before that or not, but it was in the direct to DVD era, though. Like the after night film festival releases.
Yeah.
So
totally.
I mean, it's funny that horror has always kind of been on the bleeding edge of finding the easiest, fastest way to distribute media. You know, I feel like horror had a huge boom in the direct to DVD. It had a huge boom with Redbox, and then it was like the first to really adapt to Netflix as well.
Yes.
And VOD. Can't forget that.
It's a pretty standard feeling movie. It feels more like even a mid 90s horror movie with, you know, young couples going and doing stupid shit. However, it's got some cool people in it, including, I have no idea what happened to him, but Sean Ashmore. He was...
I love Sean.
Yeah, he was in The Boys, I think was the last thing I saw him in.
I think he did pretty well in The Boys, right? But also Adam Green's Frozen.
Well, yeah,
but we don't talk.
That was forever ago.
That was in 2010.
Yeah,
so.
15 years.
Oh no.
Yeah, Jenna Malone, who I also
love Jenna. Other
than Lovely Lies Bleeding, that was the last thing I saw her in, and I hadn't seen her in anything. Before that.
What'd you think of Love Lies
Bleeding? Loved it.
Yeah,
I was really surprised it didn't get nominated for jack shit.
Yeah, it didn't even make our year-end list. It made other horror genre.
I don't know that
lists.
it like. I just didn't really consider it a horror movie.
I wouldn't have, I guess.
Yeah, like I didn't. It's funny. It didn't even occur to me to try and push that as a horror movie with you. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I thought it was a phenomenal movie, but
I tried two of hers last year. I think it was Swallowed and Consecration.
Oh yeah, I never saw the Swallowed one.
They weren't good. Very good. But
well,
I like her. I think she's
I do too.
Wonderful. Yeah.
And then Laura Ramsey, who I also have no idea what the hell happened to her after this.
Who's Laura Ramsey?
I don't know. Maybe did this movie kill people's careers? Is there like an unknown curse to this movie? It was fun. I liked looking and thinking about it now when I was trying to come up with a staff pick. It takes on very different connotations with the perspective I hold as an old person in 2025 than it did as the perspective that I held as a less old person in 2008. Mostly I feel like these shitheads got what they deserved by going into indigenous people's, you know, very sacred spaces and just trying to have jollies and thinking that there was nowhere they needed to, you know, ask permission to tread. It's a pretty cool, you know, cautionary tale. Looking at it that way.
Do you think we've changed our perspective of like our I can't think of the word right now because it's late, but like films like I Know What You Did Last Summer, was the audience rooting for the teens who killed a guy and hid his body?
Could be.
Like have we adjusted? Like
we might have I mean, I was texting with one of my old bosses today who's, you know, he's got to be in his 60s, and I'm always poking him because he's committed to Trump, and so I just sent him pictures of AOC.
It's kind of fun. Where was she last night? He
called me a far left radical extremist today, and I was like, you know what? I probably am, actually. I think I might be. I'm cool with that.
Maybe closer than he knows, because to him, like a normal Democrat is
right. And
But so it's just interesting to think like that anyone would have ever been rooting for an ensemble of couples exploring the ancient ruins of
like, and even looking at the previews again, like they're literally just like slashing through shit and stomping on stuff, and like it's just very, I don't know, it's very ugly American.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
In the chat, they said that they often get the ruins and turistas mixed up. That's kind of another one in the subgenre of.
And I don't know that I know what turistas is, but
it had a crazy marketing.
Turistas feels more like Hostel to me.
I was going to say, I feel like it was, you know how everything is compared to Hereditary now?
Yes.
I feel like after Hostel, Turistas came out, and they're like, this is this year's Hostel.
But it wasn't supernatural, was it? It was just slashery, like, because Ruins was like supernatural at some level.
I don't remember the full plot of Turistas really, but it's got Josh Duhamel and Melissa George and Olivia Wilde. I like Melissa George. What happened to her?
Yeah, what did happen to
We
her?
could maybe start a new show. It'll be a behind
What
the
happened
screens
to?
where we try to follow down the path.
And then we find every single one of them is either like a wellness / right-wing influencer or was determined to have sexually assaulted somebody.
They're at a Diddy party.
Or they've just completely cut themselves off from Hollywood to maintain their sanity. Those are like the three options.
And that's kind of all you can do. And that is staff picks.
It is staff picks.
Yeah,
check it out.
wonderful. Check them out.
Better than Teresa's.
Probably better than Teresa's. But on that note, Kelly, it's time for us to take a second and discuss some domestic dynamics.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's time to review Companion.
We hope you're enjoying your visit here this evening. Now, on with the show.
Kelly was doing a little bit of whispering. Because
Well, I know we're going to do dead giveaways.
Of course we are. Because this film, Companion, it's a 2025 American science fiction thriller film starring Sophie Thatcher and Jack Quaid. It's about a weekend getaway that turns bloody and violent when a subsequent... Okay. Just delete the rest of that. Just a weekend that goes haywire.
Were you like doing your dead giveaway before we even...
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we do get into the dead giveaways, because there is a fairly quick plot twist that Kelly doesn't even consider a plot twist because it's so early, but
that's fair. We can... I still think it makes sense. Yeah.
I think so. And
I think, Byron, your argument that it wasn't featured in the trailers is a good argument.
Intentionally omitted, and it caught me off guard when I did a Scream Unseen viewing of this at AMC. I feel like that's just all I do now is go to mystery movies.
I'm very jealous. I like the idea of it a lot.
It is cool.
I haven't been able to break free yet, but I like the idea.
Well, next one we'll have to figure it out. Drew Hancock is the name of this director, born July 9th, 1979, Omaha, Nebraska, USA. I couldn't really find much surrounding his education or his early inspiration. Not like education matters at all anymore. Anywhere.
Kidding.
So.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Sounds like he worked in TV for over 15 years. He wrote for shows including Blue Mountain State, which is a college football sitcom that was
Curious.
A couple seasons on the Spike TV network. He also was on wrote for the Jane Levy-led ABC show Suburgatory, which I never saw, but I love Jane Levy, of course. 2013 Evil Dead.
Are you familiar with Fred the TV show?
No. Oh, yeah. Actually, I am. Fred is a YouTuber that ended up getting a TV show. Is it on Disney?
I don't know, but what caught my eye is that it was on Mr. Hancock's IMDb, and it has 2.1 stars.
It didn't do very well. So Fred was a character on YouTube that had an artificial high-pitched voice. It's kind of grating to hear.
That sounds awful.
And the videos were fairly short, and to make it a full-length TV show,
That
even
sounds
20
really
minutes.
bad.
Sounds like a lot, but
wow.
This sounded like a lot. Mr. Pickles also wrote for that show, and I was like, what the fuck is Mr. Pickles?
Oh, that looks way better.
It's an Adult Swim horror cartoon.
This, on the other hand, has a 7.3.
Adult Swim's Mr. Pickles?
Yeah, about a deviant border collie with a secret satanic streak.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7.3.
Yeah, that sounds good. He also created a show called My Dead Ex.
Ooh.
Which is about a typical teen girl's life that is turned upside down when her ex comes back from the dead. You know, I'm a big fan of
Okay, I'm
My
so sorry.
Boyfriend's Back. That's a fun
Brooke
show.
Shields stars in Mr. Pickles?
As a voice?
Yeah, in all of the episodes?
Chat's saying Mr. Pickles is great. So.
Yeah, it has great reviews, and I'm feeling embarrassed as shit that I've never heard of it.
Unfortunately, My Dead Ex only got one season. It was on Go 90, which is, of course, an internet TV service by Verizon.
Of course, like I didn't know that.
A mobile-oriented, millennial-targeted social entertainment platform, which I never experienced. I feel like it's in like the Quibi zone for me, where it was an attempt to...
what is Quibi?
Quick Bites. You don't remember Quibi, the platform? These are like streaming services that were trying to get people's interest by making it mobile focused. I think Quibi, you could turn. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing, but something like Quibi. There's a lot of these platforms were making content that could be both vertical and horizontal and would adjust by how you're turning your phone. I don't know if Go90 did that, but it's kind of silly because people shouldn't be watching entertainment exclusively on their phone.
David Lynch had a wonderful tirade about that.
Oh,
about
really?
How you're a fucking idiot if you're consuming meaningful art on your cell phone.
Well, I mean, he had very specific ways that he wanted people to watch his stuff, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he? He had that turn up the, what was it? He had like a notice for one of his films that he sent along with the print with special requests of like how loudly to turn it up past like a certain point, which is kind of fun. Very specific guy, always was, but. Yeah, I didn't do much research on this Drew Hancock guy, if I'm being honest, but...
That's okay. Mr. Pickles is all we need because it seems like it was good.
This was his first, I guess he did shorts, but this is his feature-length debut, and on that, and directing in general, he said this in an interview, I'd love to destigmatize the whole process and just say anyone can really do that job. It took me a lot longer to realize that, I would say, than I probably should have. But now I'm in my 40s and I directed my first movie. So I guess he's just saying anyone can do it. Anyone can make a film.
I'm not sure that makes me feel...
Good or bad?
Yeah, mostly it seems like...
What does it seem like?
Having directed a movie in your 40s is still a pretty big accomplishment. I think you should carry it as such.
Well, and it's a pretty good film. Let's be honest.
I agree.
He did a fairly good job, fairly competent filmmaker. Do you know much about the production of this, Kelly?
No.
February 2023.
I actually know nothing about the production of it.
It was in the works at New Line Cinema with a script that Drew Hancock wrote. He was set to direct, and then a guy named Zach Kreger hit the scene, the director of Barbarian, former member of the Whitest Kids You Know. And he was going to direct. This was going to be his follow-up to Barbarian, and then he decided, after Jack Quaid already joined the cast in May of 2023, that maybe Drew should direct this after all.
Why?
I think that he felt Drew was competent enough, and it was his material, so maybe it would just make for a better film.
Curious.
That's probably the nice way to do it. He probably was like, I got a bigger thing, or I'm working on something more important, or who knows? Because his film Weapons is coming out in 2026.
Did we talk about the fact that he's married to Sarah Paxton?
I think we did at the time.
Okay. Couldn't remember if we did or not.
Yeah. No, how long has it been, too? It's been 3 years, 4 years? Josh Brolin, Julia Gardner are in Weapons, as well as a couple other folks. Benedict Wong, but that should be cool. Very excited. Happy for Zach. But he did remain a producer on this film. So, with our good friend Drew back in the helm, they shot this in New York, in a couple different counties. But yeah, like I said, screen unseen. Gosh.
And how long ago
that was
it?
a scream, pardon me.
Yeah. How long ago was it that you saw it?
A couple weeks, maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. It's been
I was
a while,
trying
but
to...
I did rewatch it today. So.
Okay.
I
was trying to figure out when we were watching it, the context for how long ago it was that you had seen it.
Yeah, and now this is out on like Apple's premium releases. It's like $19.99.
One of the fancy ones.
Yes, but I imagine soon it will be available in some sort of streaming service or at a cheaper rate. But yeah, I guess, how are we going to do this?
Well, I mean, we can just do like the description of the first 10 minutes of the movie, and then we can go to dead giveaways.
Sure. Iris, played by Sophie Thatcher. We all love Sophie Thatcher. We don't really need
She's great.
She's got a boyfriend named Josh, played by Jack Quaid. And Iris really likes Josh. And she's
very
doing
much
this big favor by going to...
Can I pause for a second?
Of course.
The movie opens with this really cute way that they met
the meet
at the
cute.
grocery store.
Yeah.
And Sam and I actually had a conversation because he's like this clumsy dude in the grocery store. Pulls out an orange and all the oranges roll off.
Yeah.
And I said to Sam, I'm like, how weird is it that that has never happened to me? Like, that seems like something that should have happened to me. I've done all the dumb things. I've like overflowed my gas tank before with like gas spewing everywhere.
Yeah.
I've done all of the dumb things like that. How have I never unraveled a fruit stand before? Never happened.
Even I have. I think I've dropped a pear or two.
No, but where he pulls one out?
Yeah. No, I've taken like the wrong one and a couple slip. Yeah. But never like the entire display, of course. Yeah, that's absurd.
It's never happened. I don't know. Just feels weird.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, yours and Sam's meet cute was he was slashing a tire with a knife and cut his hand really bad.
I mean, I already knew him at that point, but that was one of the things.
That was? Oh, wow. That was he bandaged
Our
him
meet
up,
cute
or?
was he was sitting in a recliner screaming about politics and drinking whiskey.
But you fought with him about it. And that was how you guys, that was kind of cute for you two and probably not for anyone else. But
Yeah. No, it was. Yep.
We're going to Sergei's place, the owner of a lake house, played by, his name is Rupert Friend.
So anybody who watched Homeland, he had a central role in Homeland, but Sam and I spent the first 10 minutes of the movie going, that's got to be Orlando Bloom. That's Orlando Bloom, isn't it?
I mean...
Because he's kind of fake Orlando Bloom.
Kinda, I would say.
Or Orlando Bloom is fake Rupert Friend, who knows?
Yeah, there's something a little bit more hollowed in the face of Rupert Friend playing Sergei, who's... I mean, I guess he's got a girlfriend, right?
Well, yeah.
Kat, played by Megan Surrey.
Did not like her from the get-go, let me just tell you.
Her? What's wrong with Kat?
She was real rude.
She's pretty rude. She has, I mean, I guess this is not the first time Iris has met Josh's friends, but I mean, there's this established, like, I'm worried that they aren't going to like me. And I think she's got good reason for that.
Well, and she just... We've had conversations before, Byron, about relationship horror. And while this one does not meet the level of, like, Midsummer for me, there are a couple points in this movie that were, like, took the breath out of me from how, like, oh, God, I know, like, I can feel that feeling in the pit of my stomach. And her just insecurity and fear of being around his friends and not being liked and all of these things. The whole overview of the movie, it becomes kind of ironic, but like that was a very big feeling at the beginning of the movie that's conveyed.
Because, well, it's hard to be in that position, period. But at the same time, I don't think she's finding much support in Josh.
No, he does tell her, smile and pretend to be happy.
Yeah.
And I guess what was really disturbing about that sentence was there was nothing, it didn't seem like there was anything abnormal about him saying that to her. That seemed very much like the norm. Like she wasn't upset that he didn't care whether she was genuinely comfortable or felt supported. That seemed to be, like a very rote routine.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer.
It was a bummer. But there's some fun guys in this house, too. A couple of knuckleheads named Patrick and Eli.
Love them.
Are you a Patrick or an Eli stan?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
Patrick played by Lucas Gage. And Harvey Gillen, is that how you pronounce it?
That sounds right.
Yeah. Plays Eli. And they are delightful. An absolute hoot, and they've already loosened up a bit. They're drunk. They're having a great time. This is
they're having a very good time, and they're really adorable.
Harvey Gillen, I'm probably not saying that right because there is most certainly There's one of these. A dash above the E.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably are saying it wrong, but I do not know how to say it any better, so I'm not even going to attempt.
The What We Do in the Shadows series does a wonderful job there. But, okay. We've set the stage. This is your typical Sophie Thatcher fish out of her comfort zone, because fish have comfort zones, I guess.
I mean, everybody does, I suppose.
Everyone does. And what's going on? Did you find
Harvey
Guillen, maybe?
I don't know. I'm just giving it a whirl.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Was a voice on Mickey Mouse Funhouse. You are kidding me. He was on 81 episodes.
See, I didn't know that.
Holy shit, man.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's an intensely large presence. His voice was in my children's childhood significantly.
What is this show?
It's the Mickey Mouse. Well, I guess it was Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Come inside, it's fun. I guess, I don't know what the Mickey Mouse Funhouse is. Maybe it's the same as the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Yeah, it's the same thing. Toodles! Yep.
You know what film this kind of reminds me of? Is The Rental, a little bit.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Because the party continues, and she kind of finds some comfort in a moment where she's dancing with Josh, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everyone's had a little bit to drink. Everyone's mellowing out, relaxing. And
oh God, there was a rough scene though.
What was that? Is that when Kat says that you make me feel replaceable, and that's why I don't like you?
Nope. I mean, that was rough. But when they're laying in bed.
Oh, that night.
And
it clearly shows the physical relationship is
very one-sided.
One-sided, yeah. He gets his, and
that's it.
Rolls over, and then.
Well, and even more sad, she's like.
She wants to talk about something.
She's like wildly like all she wants is to know that she's made him happy. That's like all she wants.
And he just says, "Go to bed."
Oh,
yeah, it was rough. And that is when we push maybe. Oh, let's
Dead give us.
You my little boo thing, so I'll give a hoop.
The song.
Sorry, that
was really cute.
Yeah, that kind of
okay
comes
with
back,
that.
and we'll talk about that too here in just a second. But it's time for. This is the point in the show where we spoil parts of a movie. Go watch this dang thing. It is good enough for me to say that.
Good enough.
I don't want to sell this as like one of my favorite films, but I definitely think it's worth watching, and I enjoyed myself quite a bit. Kelly?
Yes, I actually think it's very much worth watching. I think giving it away entirely, I'm pretty sure that I enjoyed it the most of you, me, and Sam.
Quite interesting. What about that is different?
You mean, what about my...
Well, no, I'm just saying Sam and I are, I mean, we're both sensitive guys, but I wonder why we both didn't find ourselves connecting with this. Interesting. Huh.
It's because I am a...
Go watch the movie. Because things are about to be revealed that are a little bit tricky. Iris wakes up the next day. Josh, I think the night before, said that he would go to the beach with her in the morning, and he decides that he is too hungover and wants to take a shower. So he says to go do it on her own.
And he's like, and she's like, but this was like a plan we made together. Like, it was your idea.
Yeah.
She's very sad. She's very lonely. I don't even, like, she's just looking for reassurance that she's wanted.
I mean, she's like a vacuum of validation. That's the only thing that matters to her.
Yeah, I agree. And also she's...
Well, and she's not even getting like baseline respect from her partner. And that makes it even more sad and complicated. You know? She also finds a switchblade in her pocket, which is kind of odd on her way down.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, oh, by the way, it wasn't a switchblade. I said something to Sam. He goes, that's not a switchblade.
What did he call it?
A pocket knife.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm like, okay, it looks like a fucking switchblade to me. It like switched.
It's got a hinge. Yeah,
it had a switch, and it switched into a blade.
Yeah, well, I mean, most knives that are foldable do become a blade.
But it was like a whoosh.
All right, that's probably true. The bag she had, how'd you feel about it? My friend Heather bought the bag, like tracked it down.
Okay, see, this is just such a good explanation of me. I have no idea. I know how she was. I can picture how she was carrying it.
Yeah.
No clue what the bag is.
Cute
what color is it?
outfits too, by the way.
It was all pink.
Kind of killed it.
Remember, she was wearing tights. I'm like, that looks fucking uncomfortable going to the beach in tights.
She's wearing tights at the beach. I don't know if I remember.
I feel like she had pink tights on and pink shorts, and I was like, what the fuck?
No, I think she just had shorts.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think she had tights. But
okay, what was the bag though?
It was. We don't. I mean, it's just a nice bag, and that's Heather from. If you're listening, the podcast, go check that out. But,
okay.
It was just kind of like a wicker, you know. It had like the little holes in it.
Oh, like an old school 1950s cute thing.
Yeah. She thinks she has the beach to herself. Turns out, fucking Sergey's there, and we haven't talked much.
Sergey.
We haven't talked much about Sergey.
Fucking Sergey.
He is very wealthy and older than everyone else, and it is.
You reminded me of Bodies for a second.
Kind of, except I like that guy, and
well, yeah, he ended up being a totally good guy.
Sergey,
poor veterinarian.
Oh, that was sad. Sergey has he feels like a mobster.
Mm-hmm.
He's clearly very wealthy, and Kat, in her description of their relationship, is basically, I'm just a plaything to him. He has a wife.
Well, yeah, she says, yeah, like he doesn't even look at me as a human.
Yeah, but she's okay with that, and that's the agreement that they have.
That's when my spidey sense went off the second time, Byron.
Interesting. Oh man. Suddenly, back at the cabin, everyone's standing, talking, hanging out, and in comes Iris covered with blood.
So much blood.
From the face all the way down her clothes.
She's got a lot of blood all over her.
Sergey tried to, after requesting to apply sunblock, which ladies never do it.
No,
Just don't do it.
Nope, but she doesn't know that.
First of all, I don't even think that would be I don't want people to apply sunblock to my body.
Sunblock is really greasy.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, maybe it's like an old trope, but I'm uninterested in someone doing that.
I'm pretty uninterested.
Yeah. He tried to get physical with her, assault her. So she pushed him back. He hit his head on a rock, and that really ticked him off. So he tries to strangle her, and in that scuffle, she stabs him in the neck with the knife.
Straight in, just like.
Yeah, popped him in the jug, and
it was pretty great.
Covered her with blood.
Yep.
And so we're back at the house, the lake house, and a familiar phrase comes out of Josh's mouth, and that is, I think, did he tell her to go to bed? Did he say, Iris, go to bed, or Iris? I think he did.
Was it go to sleep?
Go to sleep, yeah. And her eyes go white because she's a dang robot, folks. An android, a companion robot.
And here's the thing. So I really did guess it very early on. But I don't think it was for the right reasons. Like, I don't know. We learned some weird things that, well, at this point when you find out that she is a robot, you start thinking about even the outfits that she wore. So the first scene in the movie, she's got this very 1950s. I mean, it looks straight out of Mad Men, the dress that she's wearing. And then the outfit she wears when she goes down to the beach is another outfit that looks straight out of Mad Men. She's literally dressing the part of a completely subservient 1950s housewife.
That's interesting. I hadn't considered that. I figured that was something Josh must have been into. Like
a completely subservient 1950s housewife.
I just thought aesthetically.
No,
but
I think totally it is.
I didn't think of what the implication of dressing like that was. But
what was
mostly
interesting,
because I think she dressed very well. So
she does. I think it's really cute. But if you can contrast it to, like, he's dressing very much like a normal dude.
Tech bro kind of.
Yeah, but like certainly not like, oh, I'm really into like vintage.
No, he's not like a cool guy.
No. So like it is very much part of the figure that he wants as his girlfriend.
Huh. You know, I didn't think about that, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I just
thought it was kind of twee, you know?
Well, and there's this thing about like he's trying to explain to her who she is, and he's
because
like,
they tie her up when she's off, and
right.
He says that he's going to reset her, deprogram her, but he wanted to say goodbye, I guess. I don't know. I think that's why he brought her back, to explain to her what was going on.
Yep.
I mean, while she was in the middle of this, I just killed this guy, she basically is like, the only thing I kept thinking was, if he killed me, then I never get to see you again. And that was the reason that she killed him.
I said to Sam, I didn't say it until the end of the movie, but this is like, I'm not even sure how to talk about this clearly and communicate it appropriately, but like, I have had a lot of therapy over the years, and thinking back on early 20s, late teens dating, and this, at this point, I don't even know. I mean, like, I have friends who have empathized with this, but like, I would hope that this is not common to all young women in relationships, but this feeling of such pure, unchecked desperation to be with somebody and validated by somebody, that the scene where even after she finds out that she's a robot and she's desperately trying to tell him that they can still be together, I cannot explain to you how hard that hit for me.
Yeah.
I was like, I literally can feel that feeling, which doesn't make any sense because she's a robot.
No,
but
well, that's
that,
funny.
like,
yeah. Well,
zero
maybe
self-respect.
Maybe that explains how that's just more of like a no outward input is going to affect that feeling. Like, because I mean,
literally,
there's very unhealthy parts of me who have experienced that same thing, where you're like, you don't want to be with me. How can I change me to
it's like
be with you? Like,
and you talk about like the stages of grieving, and bargaining is
Sure.
one of them, but it's like, it's not even a stage of grieving. It's like everything else is completely erased, and that is the only thing. And like, it just,
there has to be a way,
because it looks so irrational, right? And it is totally irrational, and she's a fucking robot, and yet I was like, oh my God, I know exactly how that feels, and that makes me sick, and I haven't even thought about that feeling in years. And it makes me want to curl up into the fetal position just thinking about it.
I get it, but
this was a way cuter story. Oh God,
it's just fun. Okay, so let's explain how the robots work. The Josh bought her as a fuck robot. He is
sex bot.
Okay, well, I think he called her
he said I don't want to say fuck bot. That's what he said.
Well, but that was the intention when he bought her, which is just unfortunate. But we're in some sort of near future where you can buy companion robots, and he seems like the kind of dipshit guy who's too busy with college to, go out and socialize and meet people and have real relationships. So he buys a companion robot, and they walk through the whole, like, how it's set up, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
You pick a meet cute. It's
a program.
Yeah, there's a program. There's an app for that. And on the app, you can control eye color. You can control intelligence. You can control language, which is kind of fun.
Okay, this was a pet peeve when he's describing the ranges of intelligence.
Sure. And
at the top end, his example of 100% intelligence would be Ivy League grad. Fuck, that pissed me off.
But
no, that was literally his words.
Yeah, but I
fucking pissed me off. I was fucking enraged.
But they also had like a cap that, like, I see what you're saying, but
like the smartest you can program to is
that's the most
is an Ivy League grad, and I'm like, okay,
I see what you're saying.
Can we talk for a minute about the fact that our current president went to an Ivy League school?
Well, he's a genius, so that makes sense, right?
I just wanted to fucking.
And that is one of the meet cutes, though. Blech. Which I guess we should spoil this at the same time, huh? Folks are very familiar. I guess no one's really surprised that she's a robot because it's a fairly common thing in this society. So much so that that's not the only robot that's there.
Well, what I found interesting, though, the other robot was a self-aware robot. The other robot knew he was a robot.
He had suspicions, but I think
he actually said flat out, I know I'm a robot.
But wasn't it because of some things that...
No, he said I've known for years.
Maybe that's right.
Because he was talking about, there were a bunch of clues that he had, and he's like, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
It was definitely not like I'm digesting this right now. It was like
And this is Patrick. Patrick's the robot. And you know him from White Lotus or Euphoria, or does a great job in Smile too, really.
Most recent season of Fargo.
Yes, that's also true. And his partner, oh my gosh, why can't I think of it? His partner, Eli, is... God, they're just so much sweeter. Their relationship, maybe that's what this is to display that not all companion robot relationships have to be abusive, right?
Right,
like,
or imbalanced, or exploitive, or...
Like they did set Patrick's intelligence down a little bit. He's kind of a doofus, right?
Well, but I think it was more like adorable, not like to manipulate or take advantage of.
Sure. You don't think it was an intentional pick?
Could have been an intentional pick, but like probably more for companionship and less for power dynamics would be my...
Sure. Yeah, I guess I could see that. But the meet cute that they picked was a meeting at a Halloween party where... Was it Patrick is dressed up as a vampire and he accidentally steps on the tail of Eli, who's in one of those big inflatable dinosaur costumes. And when...
so cute.
When he takes the helmet or the top off of the dinosaur costume, Patrick just falls in love with him because of how beautiful he is. And then they do a little dance to the boothing song, which is super cute.
It's so cute.
It's just kind of a nice little break in the tension because
so cute.
What's going on at the moment is pretty foul stuff. Josh has, really shown himself to be kind of a very, very ugly person,
Well, yeah, so we find out that this was all a plot and...
He planted the knife.
But what's interesting, I think it does such a good job of... No, but like, I'm a good guy. Like, we were just killing this bad guy because he's a bad dude. And like, so...
Kat kind of sold him as a bad dude, though.
Right,
Sergey.
right. And Sergey was certainly... douchey.
Yeah, he did try to sexually assault her,
right.
I guess. But he knows she's a robot too, and maybe there's weird blurred lines in this near future where...
Right.
Which is gross, undeniably
Well, and
gross,
so many subtexts to that too.
Yeah.
Lots of othering involved in this. But I think, Josh has constructed this reality for himself where, no, I'm a good boyfriend and I'm really nice and I'm a good dude and we're taking care of this bad guy who's doing bad things in the world and we're just going to like take his money. But that's just like a fringe benefit of it. Like actually we're like doing this totally kind deed for the world by getting him out of the world. And then slowly that picture starts unraveling and he learns from Kat that, well, I never said he was in the Russian mafia. Like you just kind of assumed it and I didn't correct you.
So
and it turns out
Kat's more evil.
Kat's shady as shit.
They're all shady. God.
But like it turns out he made his fortune in sod farming.
Uh-huh.
Which was hilarious because that's what Sam used to do for a long time.
I need some of that in the backyard. It's a very shady plot and I just can't get strong grass to grow back there.
So you just got to start with the sod.
I think I got to sod it. Yeah.
You got to sod it. It was really an interesting transformation. Yeah. I don't know. There were a couple points in the movie where I felt like he actually maybe was hit with this idea like, oh my God, am I the bad guy? Like, am I the asshole? Is that what's going on here? And then like quickly ducked out of that. I don't know that he ever like let that hit him. I think the biggest assholes are never going to actually recognize that they are the assholes.
Likely. Yeah. I mean, because if you know you're the asshole, very few people are evil and say, I'm the evil guy.
Right. And typically, if you know you're the asshole, you're self-aware enough that you're like, fuck, I should do something about being the asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And which is kind of an interesting role for Jack Quaid to take as well, because he's typically a very charming guy who is morally, I think in most of his roles, he's like the moral guide stone, really. You know?
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of cool that he got to, you know, dance in some different shoes. I just don't know if he did it as well as I would have liked.
Oh,
I know you're kind of explaining some sort of shift in his character, but for me it was just like, and I know that this is intentional, and I feel like it's kind of the whole point, which is like, you know, he's the kind of the robot, you know?
Oh, totally.
Right?
He's like going through his life and like, okay, well, I'll have a robot girlfriend, and okay,
we'll get robot married. And
I don't feel like
get
I've
the robot job. Like,
I mean, he's basically like a pretty incel vibe.
Sure.
Like, the world owes me this. Like, fuck this. I'm not making enough money. I live in a shitty 1-bedroom apartment. Like, I haven't gotten my due.
But that's like, yeah, exactly. And that's what he's trying to do. That's the only thing that matters to him, is checking the boxes of what success looks like in society to
And
him.
I think earlier in the movie, he's trying to cover that with like, no, this is the right thing. I'm doing this. And then finally by the end, he's like, no, fuck this world. Like, I deserve better. This is what I deserve. He's like leaning into the, I am not going to try and put anything over my douchiness anymore. Like, I'm just going to let my douchey flag fly.
Yeah. We don't need to run through the beats really, but let's just say that Iris escapes.
She's a fucking badass.
Yeah, and she's learning to adapt as, I mean, and accept that she's a robot. And so I guess, I mean, a lot of this is a cat and mouse game with everyone who, you know, wants money gets introduced as an influence. Everyone joins in and is like, I guess we got to capture and kill her. So
yeah. So I've got the weirdest, before you say the end.
I don't know if we need to.
Oh, we don't want to.
Do we? I'm trying to think.
We need to give away the end.
Yeah.
Let's just say that watching Iris's path unfold and watching as she becomes very self-aware and quickly adjusts to
her new
ironically being more of a human now that she knows she's a robot.
Yeah.
So I was driving my oldest home yesterday. We were having a conversation about a kid in her class who is on the spectrum and very socially awkward and like can be really annoying. And when you're 10 years old, right, like other kids just think you're annoying and you're trying to be annoying. He's not really trying to be annoying. He like doesn't understand social things. So I was trying to get her to understand that frame of reference and like, it's okay to be annoyed by him, but like you need to channel that inside and express kindness because this person isn't doing something to annoy
intentional.
You. Right. And I couldn't get through to her. And finally I'm like, okay, I'm going to tell you the story of the movie Dad and I watched last night. And I run through this whole movie with her.
From this movie?
This movie.
Wow.
And I'm explaining like, this is what this character's perspective was. And this is what this character's perspective was. And basically how once you understand what was behind that person, you know, this is how it changes everything.
There's less direct blame that you can.
And it was like a light bulb went off and she was like, oh.
Well, of course.
It was very interesting.
This is really important because, you know, if you the longer you keep a kid in I'm the main character place.
So scary.
The more dangerous it becomes.
So scary.
Which there's a survival benefit to that at the beginning, thinking that you're the center of the world.
But then Josh was the one who thought he was the main character and nobody else mattered, right?
Turns out, yeah.
Turns out, no. He actually, by making himself the main character and ignoring everybody else, things got worse and worse for him.
Yeah, and the real him does kind of come out.
Yes, it does.
And we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to do that, but
I do like the little jam.
It is fun. It's a fun song. There's a couple good songs they make great use of Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in here. Beverly Glenn Copeland's Color of Anyhow. I don't know what that is, but that was, gosh darn it. You Showed Me by the Turtles, Emotion by the Bee Gees. That's not the one I'm looking for.
It was a really great soundtrack. I remember thinking that throughout.
It was good. Yeah, Give Me Some More by Libby Sifray.
I don't know that one.
Yeah. Book of Love, Boy, is the one I really enjoyed. So it was a wonderful soundtrack, good looking film. It did fairly well. I think it got $34.8 million.
Oh, nice.
So that's a success for Drew, and a little bit of production credit for our guy, Zach. And I'm really excited. And we have a question in the chat that said they never got into price breakdown. How much would one of these cost? I do believe they mentioned that they're lease only.
Yeah, I know he didn't. That was part of his like list of complaints about how the universe had treated him, that he didn't even make enough money to own her. He just leased her.
Maybe it was just leasing. It wasn't. That's all there is to it. You could officially buy one, but it's probably very expensive. Would be my guess. I don't know, how much would one cost. $500 a month, $1,000 a month.
I mean, it's got to be a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So those are our thoughts on. Well, I guess we got to do highs and lows, of course, because this is as above, so below. I almost forgot.
Yeah. So my low was definitely the reference. I just, between the world that I work in for my day job and the president that we have right now, referencing Ivy League grad as our metric for high intelligence pisses me off to no fucking end.
Yeah.
Like, there are smart people who graduate from Ivies, and there are also dumbasses, entitled, like, self-important morons who graduate. And saying that that's the metric, that just really annoyed me.
You're wrong.
I do think my high is interestingly something that I don't know you felt, Byron, and maybe I just I filled in stuff with what I was imagining, but the transformation from morally superior to like angry, bitter incel was really fun to watch, because it was subtle enough that it made it easier to see a lot of different people in that position versus it being such like a over the top,
like a Cagean reaction.
Yeah. I really liked that.
Is it my turn?
Is it your turn?
Yeah, I mean, this is clearly a broken record. My above is such a charming performance from Sophie Thatcher. She's so good. I know that she wasn't necessarily the star of Heretic, but she did a wonderful job in that. She's incredible in this. I assume she's doing a good job in
killing it in Yellow Jackets.
Yeah,
Catch up, friend. It's so good.
But yeah, love Sophie. Incredible job. My below, though, and I know, again, this is intentional, but I think that I needed more, a larger range of growth or realization surrounding the Josh character. And I know that you're saying that we didn't need a Cagean response.
No, but I think it's okay that you were looking for more. That's all right.
I mean, and in general as well, I feel like the story, once it's laid out in front of you, is like pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of curves. They break it up with a couple fun moments of resolute, like exploration.
What do you think about the curve of Patrick? Without giving anything away at the end, but like, did you find that
the kind of backstory of their relationship?
Well, and just like, maybe we'll talk about it afterwards.
No, it's fine. No,
I mean, Patrick's evolution by the time his character leaves us at the end.
I think it's interesting, but I think that it doesn't serve the story as much as it fills in the story, you know?
So to me, it leaves the implications of there being something much bigger going on with the evolution of
companion
Iris and the evolution of Patrick, and the thing that all of us talk about all the time with like, oh, but like when they get too smart, then like we're done for. I felt like it was really toying with this idea of kind of...
Is that the singular? What do they call that? I can't remember.
There is a word for it, and I don't remember what it is.
It's not singularity, but it might be.
It might be, because I know that reference is like an astronomical thing, but it might also reference this. You could be right.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. And it definitely makes the story richer, but I don't know if that's the story that was like being told for the most part.
I think you're right.
Like,
I think you're right. I think it's like another layer that you can choose to put on it or not.
And
I
I do find it interesting, and I actually would have preferred to see it more like that. But the way that they were presenting these flashback moments or realizations were more like quick, snappy, instead of exploration of an actual feeling or character. I don't know. There was moments with Patrick. I do agree with you, but yeah, I kind of would have rather been surprised by a more sadistic Josh, like almost like a bigger reaction that is more shocking.
Yeah.
Because he definitely slid into this like incel frustration, which was kind of like intense, but yeah, I don't know. There's something about it that was just like, I'm enjoying this movie. It's just not blowing me away. And I guess I should continue on with my final thoughts from there, right?
Yes, you should.
I mean, it's an incredible ensemble. I think everyone was kind of on the edge of killing it, but no one other than Sophie crossed that line, really. Like everyone was, and I always feel like, I know we're not professional reviewers, but for me to call an actor who's professional competent and their performance competent, find a better word for that. Clearly they're all very, very talented, and it was well acted. It just, it still to me didn't feel like it was like really standout. I think that it's a tight story. The movie looks good and it says everything well. It just didn't blow me away. Like for the surprise worked on me. I didn't think I didn't think that she was a robot until her eyes went white and she powered down, which was exciting for me. But after that moment, and maybe that's what affected this for me. I wonder why. Why would you like that movie more if I was more blindsided and caught off guard by kind of like a big switch? I don't know. That's something to think about.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But after that moment, I was like, okay, where are we going? And it didn't take me anywhere too surprising. So,
okay.
Cool movie. I give, I'm a huge fan of Jack Quaid, even with all the nepotism and his shitty dad. But this isn't really the Jack Quaid that I like to see. And I know that's kind of a petty reason to dock points, but
no, I don't think it is.
I think it is. And all those reasons, I'm going to give Companion 7.0 stacks of cash.
I like all of that. And I felt really good about I like the subtlety of the evolution, but I totally understand the other perspective. I also think maybe the reason I enjoyed it was it really wasn't about the twist for me. Mm-hmm. Like it was about the other things. And so
I should say it destroyed the rewatchability is over.
Yeah.
And he's calling her beep boop and stuff like that. And like the weather stuff where she's like basically like an Alexa that tells the weather.
Yeah.
I just didn't work the same way.
Well, yeah. And for me, it was more about the subtleties and learning more about Josh through what he had chosen for all these variables with his girlfriend, and then learning more about her as she stepped out of those variables. I don't know. It was very weird. It was like when you have a little kid and you watch them grow up and you see like little pieces of their personality start to emerge, right? And it was kind of like watching that at like this incredibly accelerated rate.
Yeah.
Over, a 1-day period or whatever with this young woman. And there was something really uplifting about that, even amidst all of this insanity, there was some...
It's more than just rooting
force
for
at work.
Someone. Like
right.
It's like you get to also celebrate them at the same time, right? Like,
yep.
I think that's kind of cool. Her not being able to lie was a little silly, though, right? The Jim Carrey liar kind of element of it.
That was kind of funny. I really
clever,
liked the
though.
German.
Clever switch. Yeah, if you're going to talk to a cop and you can't lie, switch your language to German so they can't understand it.
Yeah,
clever.
And at first I was like, it's really stupid that the cop wasn't afraid of her. But then I was like, well, why would she be? Because he knows that all robots are programmed so that they can't hurt people.
Oh yeah, even if I mean, when did he? Oh, I guess they got the call. He got the call that the robot had killed someone.
Well, that the robot had stolen the car.
Ah, that's right.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that smart car too. What a pain in the butt. I gotta tell you, as an audio engineer, you cannot just change your voice by adjusting the pitch and the format to match that of your. I mean, maybe if you're a brilliant robot, maybe that works. But that's a cool app.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I agree. So I loved this. I think even though I guessed it really early on, it made it not a Shyamalan for me.
Yeah.
So I got to enjoy other pieces of it. I would like to look more into the costume and makeup and see what the intent was behind that, because it felt like it was really trying to convey like a very repressive vibe from
vibes almost like
right. And not to mean that anybody who wears those clothes, that's the vibe, but when the context is given that he had chosen all of that, there was certainly no autonomous style choice she was making.
Yeah.
As clearly demonstrated when she does exercise her own style choice closer to the end. She's wearing very different clothes.
I guess I don't remember that. What was she wearing?
Black jeans, a leather jacket.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is kind of similar to what Jack Quaid ends up wearing at Novocaine too, which is
hilarious.
Go check that movie out when it comes out. I think it's coming out.
It's gotta be soon. Sam's very excited to see it.
See, it's tough. I was discussing with my friend who I went and saw it. I was like, this is like a really like sweet movie, but it's also so foul. It is so violent. And I don't know if you've seen the trailer. There's a moment where he reaches in to grab a gun out of a deep fryer. His hand does not get better. Like clearly,
I'm glad that they don't like mess it up that way. That's good.
It's always in like view, and
all that makeup. Oh,
it's so gross.
That is really gross.
So it's a kind of a difficult movie. I was like, who is this for? Because like, if someone finds this romantic, I mean, maybe marry that girl like immediately. Like, yeah, or run. Could be a red flag as well. But you're gonna learn a lot in Novocaine. Kelly, did you give a point?
I did not. I, however, would like to give Companion 7.9 yards of gingham.
Wonderful. I wonder if we get DMCA'd today. We'll see if this makes it at.
That was a lot.
I did play it a lot, but not much.
Was there like a second limit? Like, can you do so many bars before it?
I did a little bit of reading on that. It's not necessarily black or white.
Of course it isn't. Nothing is these days.
Yeah, well, great to know. And I do want to know.
Depends on whether you say things like Elon Musk is an idiot or our president is South African or...
Oh, we got an email.
Fucking great.
I'm just kidding. I don't have any more emails. Okay. But I do want to know what folks think about Companion. I see in the chat, couldn't agree with you more, Byron, says the DJ and Tal. That's very nice to see. Guess I did something right tonight.
I don't know what you did right, but I'm glad that you did.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But yeah, let us know what you think. Reach out to us on social media. Blue Sky at Frightday. Instagram, we're there for now. Contact@frightday.com is our email address. Leave a comment below this episode. Show notes at frightday.com, or let's have a big discussion about it at discord.frightday.com.
Whoopity-doo!
Because we don't do Facebook anymore.
Hey, have you noticed how I've been on Discord way more?
I have. That's very exciting. You might actually point people in that direction, but you never know. It was pretty good, says Space Soul Boy.
Well, I agree, and I'm glad you feel that way.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, solid. I think that this guy is going to do some great stuff soon. Is his name Drew? Was that right?
Hancock.
Drew Hancock?
Like Herbie or John.
Yeah, I think this is the beginning of something really cool, and excited to see where it goes.
Me too. Thanks for putting this one on the radar. Maybe it was, happy mistakes, right? Because
this was not, come on.
No, it was a happy mistake because you had us slated to watch something else.
Oh yeah,
and this was a happy mistake.
It does seem like that will be coming out on VOD in the next 2 weeks.
Excellent.
And we will be covering
so glad we got to watch this. It was great.
Yeah, it's a little bit of, are we going to be like we don't have to watch like 25 movies at the end of the year this time. Like, we are actually going to try to keep up with the horror releases as they have them.
I think we'll probably still have like 25 movies at the end of it.
Yeah.
That's okay, though.
And it is our March Madness bracket style competition will be beginning. I saw you working on that a little bit.
So hard.
Do we want to reveal what it is?
Oh, were you for sure going with my idea?
No. I cannot say that live on the air. It's Nessie versus Nessie versus Bigfoot just 36 times. Is that?
No, but I really do like that you had to check yourself from actually
no.
like full blown going with one of my ideas without thinking about it more. That was amazing.
Some people's least favorite time of the year at patreon.com/Frightday or thefrightaysociety.org.
God, that was amazing.
That's going to be starting soon, so very exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. It's late.
It's pretty late.
I kept you too late, and I'm sorry.
Okay.
Apologize.
It's okay.
But it's going to be fun to be actually covering some films. I feel good about this.
I feel better about UFO conferences, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah. We got a couple of those coming up.
Woo-woo!
So, UFO fans, rejoice. And everyone else, I'm really sorry, because it's going to be a big chunk of the early summer.
It's very exciting.
Yes, very soon. That will be a lot of what we're up to. So
come meet us.
Oh yeah, we could. Love to see you at Contact in the Desert. Of course, use promo code Fright10 to save that, and on that we'll be in the pool hanging out, and also talking to tons of folks. But also we're gonna be in Oregon. That's gonna be cool. But yeah, until next time, when we'll reveal more. I'm Byron.
I'm Kelly.
Stay with someone who respects you.
Yes.
And don't stay scared. I can't follow it with that.
Stay scared.
Okay.
You've been listening to an Audio Wool original, produced by Byron McKoy. Theme music is provided by Yawns. For more programs like this, visit audiowool.co.